If you ask me where I would want to travel around Europe, Austria would be in the list, but definitely not a part of Austria that looks like it's a place from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like, don't get me wrong, Linz did have lots of good sides, which I'll show you later on in the video, but my first impression was the industrial area where the Flixbus dropped us off. Flixbus is probably the cheapest option if you want to travel all around Europe. I paid around 50 Swiss francs one way from Zurich to Linz. It was an 8-hour ride, but it was honestly very convenient. The only thing that I would recommend you is to bring your own power bank and of course some snacks. So I have just arrived to the room that I had booked, and I have to say it does look a little bit better than the pictures, but it's still very old-fashioned and with very questionable design. That's the bed frame. It looks like it was carved out from a very old castle door. Yeah. At least there's a window with a really nice view. So I barely got any sleep this week because it was a very busy street where my hotel was located, but it was the most affordable place that I could stay in. So I guess you get what you pay for. Anyway, the reason that I'm actually in Linz of all places is because I had a study week there for one of my university modules. Apparently this place was supposed to inspire us to be more creative. I'm not entirely sure I got that out of this trip, but I guess you'll have to stay until the end to find out. So far it's pretty alright. I mean, I'm just walking around trying to find a place to eat because there are lots of places to eat and I'm hoping the prices are very good in Switzerland, but yeah, so far it's alright. Finally found the town square. Of course, I immediately went for Chinese food because I really missed Asian food, and what you can get for 10 euros here, you'd actually get for around 30 Swiss francs in Switzerland. It actually looks very nice at night. It looks more lively than it would on a Sunday in Zurich or Zug in Switzerland. We then walked around the city for a bit, and the next day was the first day of our creativity module, and I was quite excited. Each group had a challenge that was related to their client, and each group needed to also have their own costume. And my group and I came up with The Sims. I made these diamonds from paper and wires, and I painted the paper green instead of actually buying green paper because, believe it or not, it's almost impossible to find stationery at an affordable cost in Switzerland. Like, I'm not even joking. I think the best part of our costume is that anyone can spot us in the crowd. For example, where's our friend right now? We actually got so many compliments for our costume from both students and lecturers, and at one point even the lecturers were wearing these headbands. Okay, so looking at the meal choices, it looks like frozen food because there's like only rice and beans.
Wait, I don't think it's enough for everyone actually.
So we just got a coffee. Everyone's complaining about how bad the food is. Now, I usually don't complain about meals and food, but honestly, the fact that we paid for it is what makes me a little mad, because they could have definitely provided something better. Anyway, I stuck to Chinese food after that for the rest of the week. One thing that I really love about my degree is the amount of company connections that we get. Almost every semester we have to work with real clients to solve real-world problems by doing research and working with others in a team. Individual work is not an option in this degree, it's absolutely a must to work in a team, and if you don't know how to work together with a group of people by the end of your first semester, you'll probably not be able to pass the course because all of the subjects require group work. Talking about the project, I got myself another snack. We're also a very diverse class with people from all different backgrounds, which makes it actually very interesting and fun for us to come up with different solutions and work together. Throughout the week, we were challenged with different art pieces related to our client project, and while I was skeptical at first, I was glad that my team members kept up their positive spirits because mine ran out one day into the module. I think more than anything, this week gave us all time to get to know each other better as people and not just as colleagues doing the same degree. Everyone doing their master's degree is busy to some extent, whether it's working, raising kids, or working on other personal projects in their life. This week eliminated a lot of that and gave us all time to really connect as people, so yeah, I guess I did like this week.
I cried and I got a bear dollar.
So we earned bear dollars, how exactly?
For the best laugh, which really were my tears.
Okay, but we actually did earn it for
earned
merging
it
together with a company, right?
We merged our company with another company.
Right.
Based off of the scamper value or the scamper's method. We use the scamper's method to adopt and combine work from another group. Yeah.
Thank you for explaining. I have no idea what we did.
Look at the bear dollar. There it is.
So it's now time for a break and it's time for cinnamon rolls and they look really delicious. Martha, what's your opinion of today?
Okay, so today, compared to yesterday, I think there's been an improvement because yesterday I did not like it at all. So today I'm having more fun, yes. There's like crazy ideas, everyone is like going a little bit crazy in their heads, which is again make us laugh, but talking about the actual project and what we actually have to deliver and what's actually going to count for our grades, I think we have not made any progress. We are going to circles, going to crazy places, but we cannot even implement that or even say that to our our clients. So I don't know if
I feel
it's
like
helpful.
we're going in a lot of circles, and right now, like our group mates, they're working on a board that looks a lot like an awful like cinnamon rolls, but I think that's VR glasses. But
We love cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, we do really love cinnamon rolls. But anyway, I do feel like today was quite fun. So we'll try to keep up, our positive spirit. We have our little Sims headbands on to help us stay in character, and we hope that it actually works. So far, it is working.
Yeah, so far, yes.
By now you must be thinking, are you just doing school projects in a different location when you clearly just could have done this from your campus in Lucerne and not have to pay 400 euros for this module? Well, would we be able to see innovative companies and robots like this in Switzerland? I don't think so. In all seriousness, these robots reminded me of the scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where the dad loses his job to robots. But in our case, it's AI. Anyway, we visited this company that's known for their innovations and we saw lots of really cool stuff. And of course, most of the innovations were the ones with AI. We also visited the Johannes Kepler University Linz, and the only thing that I remember from that trip was the slide, which we got to try at the end of the tour. On our final day, we finally found out why we were actually in Linz of all places, and it was because Linz was placed the second in the European Rising Innovative City category at the European Capital of Innovation Awards 2024 to 2025. Wow, that was a lot to read. The winner was Braga, but I'm guessing that Portugal was a bit too far for all of us to travel. We were also told that Linz welcomes expats despite the apparent racism, which was admitted by the locals. In my honest opinion, the place did not feel very welcome or warm, but I did see a lot of foreigners in shops and walking around the streets. On top of that, the employment rate is very high for graduates from Austrian universities, even for non-EU nationals. Through research of my own, I also found out that Austria provides a 12-month job-seeking visa after finishing your studies, which is twice the amount given in Switzerland. So it might be a better option for non-EU nationals if they're looking for a place to study in the EU. I'm also very happy to be in the Ars Electronica Center. What are they showing us?
I think it's a museum with more like scientific stuff.
Yeah, we'll find out. Don't get me wrong, I think AI is one of the greatest inventions, obviously, but we don't need AI for literally every single thing on Earth. One of the most ironic parts of this exhibition was the showcasing of global warming and how we need to take care of our planet. But they were using AI, which is terrible for the environment, to actually predict and show us how bad global warming is. AI is everywhere and I really don't want to talk too much about it unless it's for academic benefit. But now let me show you a part of the exhibition that actually stayed with me.
Better than that, right? In technical terms, it can actually, because this is not simply a video, this is an application I can control intuitively with the help of a video game controller, which is awesome, to be honest. Okay, that being said, let me very quickly explain to you the difference between real-time animation and our own home galaxy. This would require a selfie stick quite long. So we can only rely on what astrophysicists tell us about it based on comparisons with other galaxies. But we're not at the end yet. We can travel up further. And there are some areas we do not have those galaxy data. I also have to mention them. This does not mean that there simply exist no galaxies. This simply means that the center of the Milky Way.
That was
legitness.
probably the best part of this whole week. I really like that exhibition, not the AI part, but what they did afterwards with the 3D glasses. All in all, I think this was a very fun week. I'm glad that I got to experience this side of Austria that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. But studying is not all I did. I also traveled around Linz to Vienna and Salzburg, which I'll show you later in my next video.